What is up, guys? The Jedi here, and today we are going to be looking at the Eagles and Steelers preseason. What's the word I'm looking for? Their recent preseason games and their progress during that time, and we're going to be looking into some regular season stuff. So let's actually do it. Cross out here. Note, the Pirates do play today. They won yesterday against the Rockies. Yes, they played against the Rockies, and they started yesterday. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. And, of course, I'll be doing the Philadelphia Eagles. So, to blank out, they've beat the Jets yesterday. They've also beat the Bengals week 1. They lost to the Browns week 2. Let's look at week 2. Okay, so Dylan Gabriel, 13 of 18. He looks okay as a Browns quarterback. Let me actually look at the NFL. Okay, so these are the remaining NFL games today. And then week 1 starts Thursday, September 4th. Browns are leading by 6. So let's see who's actually starting. Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel. Rams is just playing one quarterback. Joe Flacco played. He looks okay. Shedeur Sanders, I guess, is playing now. Dylan Gabriel actually looks okay. 12 of 19, 129 yards. And with 1 touchdown. Shedeur Sanders, 2 of 4 with 7 yards. Okay. So, like, from my perspective, I think Dylan Gabriel is really the best option for the Browns. Shedeur, he's okay. He's just, I don't know. But 7 yards, he's 2 for 4. I think they probably just put him in here. He has no rushing yards. And I think they just stuck him in here. But I don't know. Cleveland is allowing sacks, which is the classical Cleveland. So, but we're not going to talk about no flipping Cleveland Browns right now. We're going to talk about the Eagles and the Steelers. So, the Eagles beat the Bengals. They've almost allowed a comeback against the Bengals. And they've almost did it against the Jets yesterday. But preseason's done. Eagles are 2-1 in the preseason. They got the Cowboys. So, looking at the Eagles schedule, this looks fine, but it's tricky. You got the Commanders, Bills, and Commanders. Then you got the Giants, Vikings, and Giants. This is what's standing out to me right now in the process. I don't care about when they play the Packers, Lions, and all these other teams. The tricky part is them going up against the Commanders, and then in a couple weeks later they got the Commanders again. Same with the Giants. And the Giants might actually squeeze a win against the Eagles. In one of these games. It might be in Philadelphia. That's what I'm assuming. The Giants might win in Philadelphia for the first time. And I could actually show you what the Eagles' record is against the Giants in Philadelphia. So, just be prepared when I show you that. But I'm not going to show you that right now. And another thing I think should have happened was the Rams should have been week 2. Chiefs should have been week 3. That's why I should have. I don't know what I'm saying. That's what should have been the case for the NFL season instead of just putting it just straight up in the face. So they got the Chiefs for week 2 instead of just having it like, I guess, well, for week 3 purposes. But it is what it is. They got the Cowboys week 1. It should have been the Commanders. You got all these other teams, but except for the Commanders. I don't know why they don't want the Commanders. They really don't want the Commanders, but the Commanders is the Commanders. They got some weapons. Dallas honestly just has George Pickens, and they're having a Micah Parsons situation. So Dallas is easily the team that's going to get embarrassed by these Eagles on a Thursday night football game to start the season, and it's going to happen. And I'm just saying this from a Philadelphia native perspective because I'm from Philadelphia. So, yeah, this was a bad choice to have the Eagles go up against the Cowboys. It could have been the Commanders. It could have been the Broncos of all teams. It could have been the Bears or the Commanders. No, it could have been the Rams. It could have been the Rams or the Commanders. But instead they chose the Cowboys. They chose the Cowboys. So, Dallas is going to get embarrassed. And, this is such a stupid decision by the NFL. They actually want that to happen, though. Dallas getting embarrassed. And for the Steelers, I don't really know what to say for the Steelers. As you look in these preseason games, let's look in week 1. So, the Mason Rudolph played did not look he looked perfect for the first game, but the next 2 preseason games after that, the Steelers allowed sacks, which is the classical Steelers. They've allowed some offense to get sacked. They beat the Panthers, so they're also 2-1 in preseason because they lost to the Buccaneers, and this was I was pretty upset because I wanted the Steelers to go 3-0 against the Buccaneers at home. So they lost to the Buccaneers at home for the first time. Great. But they got the Jets. What do I think about this? And this is on CVS. Not available in my area since I'm in the Philadelphia metro area. So I will let me actually look at the NFL week. I said BFL. NFL week 1. Yeah, so let's look at the schedule for channels in my area. So, we all know that I'm going to see the Eagles and Cowboys, but what about the Steelers and Jets? That's my question. And you guys will probably have a question too. Am I going to see the Steelers and Jets game? Okay, so I'm waiting for this to load up. Can this load up? Ah, here we go. Perfect. There we go. Alright, so Eagles and Cowboys are first. Jets and Steelers. If they do not show this in the Philadelphia metro area, then we are absolutely going to be having some issues. I mean, there is 3 games coming on CBS, so I am more than likely to see the Jets and the Steelers play on CBS in the Philadelphia area. A bunch of the other games are at 425. That's from... Yeah, they're more likely to show the Steelers and Jets. There's no other no other game is coming on besides the games that are coming on later. And Bills and Bills and Ravens are on NBC. Bears and Vikings on NBC. I mean, not NBC, ESPN. Oh, and that's a touchdown reflection or reception by that guy. Okay. That was a little highlight right there. Didn't mean to show that, but it is what it is. Or no. Dolphins, Colts. So make that 4 NFL games. But who's going to want to see the Dolphins and the Colts? You got Raiders and Patriots. You got Cardinals and Saints. So more than likely, I'm going to see this game. Because, nobody's really playing. Titans and Broncos on Fox. That's usually on a CBS, but Broncos kind of play on Fox. They like to have their games on Fox for some reason. I don't know. But yes, I am able to see the Steelers and the Jets. I will actually see this game. I will see that game. I will see the game. So, and then Panthers are playing the Jaguars on Fox. So a bunch of games are coming on Fox. Then, a bunch of games are coming on Fox. So the Steelers and the Jets will be shown in the Philadelphia region. It has to be shown. Because what's going to happen here is they're going to show the Giants and Commanders in the Philadelphia region for obvious reasons, because they're division rivals of the Eagles and Cowboys. So why not show a division opponent play another division opponent while your team's not playing in your city region? And then the Chiefs play on YouTube. So, Bengals and Browns play on Fox for the first time this season. But yeah, I should be able to see, because there's only 4 games coming on CBS. If they show the Dolphins and the Colts for no reason, instead of showing, and also on top of that, Aaron Rodgers is playing against the Jets while the Justin Fields is playing against the Steelers. So both quarterbacks are on 2 different teams, and they played each other last year. So this is a team to see. Well, a game to watch in the Philadelphia region. So, like I said, I will see this game. I will see this game. So yeah, I should be able to see this game. So, without further ado, close this out. So yeah, not available in the area. This will be available in the area because this is the most entertaining game that's going to be shown. Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing on the Steelers, so why would they not show that in the Philadelphia region? But yeah. Wait, well, that's the Eagles. I went to go to the Steelers. But yeah, to look at the Steelers' schedule going forward with them as well. They got the Seahawks. They got the Patriots, Vikings, Browns, Bengals, Packers, Colts, Chargers, Bengals again, and the Bears, the Bills, the Ravens, Dolphins, Lions, Browns, and the Ravens. They got the Ravens December 7th. Then they got them January 4th for the last game. So they got the Ravens later during the season, and they play the Browns in Cleveland later during the season instead of early. So let's see how that goes. And you already know the Steelers cannot beat the Browns in Cleveland for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, like Cleveland has that random vibe towards Steelers fans, and I don't like it. Steelers, Seahawks, this is coming on Fox, so I probably won't see this game. Or it doesn't say that yet, but so I probably will see majority of these games. They're going to show the Patriots and Steelers. Why would they not? I'm going to see the Steelers and Vikings game. They're going to show the Steelers and Browns if they do. I will see the Steelers and Bengals. I will see the Steelers and Packers. So the amount of Steelers games that I will see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put that as a maybe. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to say probably 9 and 10, but maybe 9. This is the possible 10. Because last year I saw a bunch of Steeler games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, no, not 6. A little bit of 6. Well, no, I didn't see this game directly. But 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So I saw 19 Steeler games last season. 19 Steeler games last season. So let's see how many Steeler games I can see this year. I only saw 2 this year. Well, including preseason as well. But, yeah. Let's see, can I see? I'm probably going to see not as much Steeler games this year since I'm in the Philly region. But I will probably see a good amount of Steeler games. And the ones that are prime times, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I know that they're going to show the Ravens because they have done that many times during the past couple years. So I will see the Steelers and Ravens in the area. Who doesn't like a Steelers and Ravens rivalry? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Eagles. Steelers. I think that's enough looking at the schedule. So moving on forward to the Google Docs, so I can explain. As soon as this thing loads up. Alright, so Eagles and Steelers, their season history. And we're going to start with the Eagles. So, we already know that they've had Nick Sirianni since 2021. And they've got everything together with that in the process. Notice they had their very first playoff game with Pittsburgh, and they won 21-0. They have 55 playoff appearances. They have 20. They're 29-26 in the playoffs. They're 2-3 in the Super Bowl. They can go 3-3. Well, 3-3, I should say, in the Super Bowl. That's this season. They're 10-11 in the wild card. They're 10-7 in the divisional round. They're 5-4 in the conference championships. They're 3-12 in the championship battles. As you don't know what this perspective is, so if you look back in the early NFL days when the Eagles were like introduced back in 1933, and then as you like go forward, you'll see that they participated in some of these championship battles, which were considered to be I forgot what they were considered to be at the time, but for right now they were championship battles. I think you have to play I think wild cards was not really invented at the time, so you would just play like a divisional round or so, and then the championship battles. Well, I think, or I don't know how they did back in the day, but yeah, these were championship battles. They only competed in 5, actually. Philly has 4 winning seasons under Nick Sirianni, which is true. Nick Sirianni is looking for his 5th season, his 5th winning season. And then he's led the Eagles to 3 wild card rounds in his coaching career. Playoff record is 6-3, as he is the head coach right now for Philly. He's also searching for a 50th win. He's 48-20 right now as head coach in the regular season. Let's hope he can get to 50 wins in the span of 2 games. He has to get past the Cowboys and the Chiefs to achieve 50-20 as a head coach in the regular season. He's also 1-1 as head coach in the Super Bowl. He's also 5-8 in 2 ties as a head coach in the preseason. So with that note, that's kind of it for the Eagles. But despite the fact that they're 29-26 in the playoffs, they had like a lesser. They were 25-26 in the playoffs, but they've managed to spark that up to 29 as of that playoff last year, and to go 2-3 in Super Bowl. So let's try to see can they get their 56 playoff appearance, and that's more than the Steelers. As we look to the Steelers' perspective, Mike Tomlin, he is the Steelers' head coach from 2007 towards now. They did a contract, I would say back in 2024 or 23, and I believe it's going to expire up until the 2027 era, which is 2 years from now. Pittsburgh has 65 playoff appearances, unlike the Philadelphia Eagles with their 55 appearance. They're looking for their 66th playoff appearance, and they're 36-29 in the playoffs, which might be 36-30 as a record if they get their 66th playoff appearance and probably lose it for the 30th time. Pittsburgh is 6-9 in the wild card, which has been their biggest struggle, and I will actually tell you why once I get done with explaining some of the stuff down here. Pittsburgh is 16-10 in the divisional round. Pittsburgh is 8-8 in the conference championships. They're 6-2 in Super Bowls. Mike Tomlin is under 18 straight winning seasons as head coach. He's looking for his 19th. If he gets that, then another winning season for the Steelers under Mike Tomlin. And speaking of Mike Tomlin going to the wild cards, he has led the Steelers to 9 straight wild card rounds in his career and has lost a bunch of them. Can't really think of the last time he won a wild card round. He's 8-11 in the playoffs as head coach. He's either going to win 9 or lose 12, which is probably going to be the case. Mike Tomlin is 2-1 in Hall of Fame games. Nick Sirianni has not played in a Hall of Fame game yet. The Eagles, last time they played in the Hall of Fame was 2006, I think against the Raiders. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll actually look at that another time, actually. And I might have said that in a previous video. Might have forgot. Mike Tomlin's also 1-1 in Super Bowls, just like Nick Sirianni. And he's also 42-28 in preseason games. Well, that's only because he's been coaching longer than Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is just underway in his coaching career. But the Steelers, they're 69 in the wild card round, and this is where things start to be questioned. Why can they win more than just making it to the wild card round? Well, you see, the Steelers, if you watch the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles have players that have experienced championship success. Steelers have not. They have not experienced. The Steelers don't have that variety of players that have that playoff success. And the only person that's really experienced that playoff success is Mike Tomlin. He's the only person that's on the Steelers that has experienced a playoff success, which was back in 2010s. But Cameron Hayward has experienced playoff success. Yeah, but the younger guys that are coming up, they haven't experienced a high level of playoffness in the process. And that might be the reason why they're once they get to the wild card round, they always they crumble. They can't hold to that variety because they haven't had that they don't have that feel of what it is. And give me a second. Okay, and I'm back. That was had to deal with some sibling problem, but it's taken care of now. But yeah, anyway, they have not made a divisional round appearance since the 2016 era. They haven't made a championship appearance since the 2016 era. They have not made a Super Bowl since the Green Bay Packers in the 2010 era. So, to ask, will Mike Tomlin get a 19 straight winning season? Or will this be his first losing season in a while? Well, in history of his coaching career. And I also forgot to explain the regular season. He has this record 183 to 107 losses with 2 ties in the regular season. So he's good in the regular season, but the playoffs and is going to go straight to the wild card round. Can he get these young guys and guys that are good threats, such as TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, can he get them to win a first playoff game? That's the problem right now in the process, and the questions is being floated around on how is Pittsburgh going to have a success getting into the playoffs or surviving this season. We already saw the schedule. It looks okay, but you know, they got some tricky games as well as Philadelphia. Like Philadelphia, this is good. Since they got a coach that actually is breathing their culture, which is Nick Sirianni, the Eagles are in business, so you don't really need to worry about the Eagles, depending on what's going on this season. But as you're an Eagles fan that's watching this, you don't need to worry about Nick Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles and the rest of their staff, the coaching staff, I should say. But yeah, you don't need to worry about this. Though more likely to probably make another wild card depending on what's going on this year. They might make it to the divisional round and go 11-7. But you don't need to worry about this right here. But for Steelers fans, as you're a Steelers fan that's watching, you're kind of worried. Mike Tomlin is 8-11. He's led the Steelers to 9 wild cards in his career. He could lead them to his 10th. And again, they're looking to add on to their 66 playoff appearance in over a decade. And the Eagles is looking to add to their 56 in over a decade. Well, decades. And Mike Tomlin has only been the offensive coordinator since 2007 towards now. His coaching career could end up being his last in 2027. If not. So. What Mike Tomlin has been doing in preseason games is good, except for last year, because last year was a big struggle. Steelers were playing playoff teams last year, while the Eagles had something like that. But for the Steelers, they've been eating their own medicine, and they've been just haven't been able to break out and have an explosive season like the Eagles have. And speaking of that, what the Eagles and Steelers did in the offseason, and we're going to start with the Eagles. Eagles released Darius Slay. He signed with the Steelers. James Raspberry to the Titans. Not Titans, to the Cardinals, I think. Well, I think he's still in free agency. They lost Josh Sweat to the Cardinals, which I did not like. They lost Milton Williams to the Patriots. They traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Texans. I think he was just coming back just to win a championship with the Eagles and stuff, which is cool. They traded Kenny Pickett to the Browns and got Dorian Thompson, Robinson, and a 5th-round pick. And that was super for the Browns to trade their 5th-round pick, to the Eagles. They traded Gainwell to the Steelers, signed it. They signed this guy from the Giants, some cornerback for the Giants, Ardre Jackson, I think. And then they signed it running back A.J. Dillon from the Packers. He actually looks perfect to be an Eagle anyway. They signed it Joshua Ayuk from the Chiefs, if I'm saying it right. Yuchi, I think. I don't know. They signed it Harrison Bryant from the Raiders. Released it Jermaine Moon Jeremiah Moon, I should say, former Raven, and Mekhi Becton will not return to the lineup as he is traded to the Chargers. I might be wrong. They also signed Kylan Grayson to a 1-year deal from the Colts. Brandon Graham retired from the Eagles. They lost Devontae Maddox actually to the Lions. They signed Lane Johnson to a 1-year deal. And they signed Aziz Odrari to a 1-year deal from somewhere. A weird name. And that's kind of it. And then they've signed some guys during the draft. And for the Steelers, they released Preston Smith after a trade with the Packers during the bye of the 2024 season. They signed Skylar Thompson, and Skylar Thompson has been balling out in the preseason. They have found their answer. And quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. So at quarterback answer, Aaron Rodgers. A pair of wide receivers. They actually got a good pair of wide receivers. Offense and defense need a change, and honestly, I'm going to get with that in a second. Between both teams. Opinion at quarterback, which is anyone, and honestly, it could be anyone. Skylar Thompson might be the guy. I'm just talking. But he has been balling out in the preseason, so I don't know. Coaching wise, Terry Austin, the defensive head coach, returning, and other defensive coaches for linebackers and D-backs. I hope they get together and just try to make the defense good again, because last year's defense was not good, and I'm going to tell you why. They traded for DK Metcalf, which is good. They added Darius Slay, like I said earlier, a little bit ago. They released Larry Ogunjobi. They released Dante Jackson. They lost Justin Fields to the Jets. Najee Harris went to the Chargers. Mason Rudolph returns to Pittsburgh, and he did not look efficient as he was in a couple preseason games of the 2023 era, I should say. But he looked okay versus Jacksonville, but the last two preseason games against the Buccaneers and Panthers, they gave him a little challenge. But I do expect Rudolph to play during the NFL season. They got Kenneth Gainwell from the Eagles, traded lineman Dan Moore to the Titans, which was good because he keeps causing flags, so get him out of here. They're keeping Ben Stronach. A weird name. Another weird name, Stronach. Like I just said that weirdly. They signed Malik Harrison from the Ravens. Signed Brandon Eakles to a 2-year deal. Daniel Elite from the Pats. And, they declined Aaron Rodgers at one point, but that's going to, that changed it during, I would say, after the NFL draft. They lost Russ to the Giants. Signed it. And they signed this guy to a contract. Signed it Calvin Anderson to a 2-year contract. And that's about it. Now this guy, I think he was on the Eagles. Yeah, he was. But he was also the former Raven as well. But they signed him as well to a 1-year contract. So he should help out with the defense. But yeah, the only thing that stood out was Aaron Rodgers. He is the quarterback answer right now. They also signed to Skylar Thompson. And again, Skylar Thompson has balled out. So I'm going to actually check their 53-man roster because they announced that not too long ago, which was yesterday. All right, so the Steelers defense in preseason, 2023 and 24, they've had 11 to 10 preseason sacks. They had 8 in the 2022. They had 4 in 2025 of this year, and that's all they have. In 2017 and 19, they were smoking hot in defense. Right now, yeah. But for the regular season, and this is why I was saying that, and family issues, please don't mind what you're hearing in the background. So Steelers, as you look here, as I scroll down during the sacks and fumbles during their time in the regular season, they're pretty good, actually. But sometime during the 2017 season, they were smoking hot and getting these sacks. And they've actually took that up towards the 2021 era. But since they've got a new defensive head coach in 2022, they've been putting up 40 sacks in a row. They had 40 sacks in 2022. They had 40 sacks in 2024, which was last year. They had 47 sacks in 2023, and this was I would say, their best performance in a little bit since 2022. But I really want them to go back into the 50 sack column. So let's see how they will do in 2025. Let me just get this set right now. And the fumbles. Okay, so let's check the Eagles. Again, family issues. Please don't worry about that. Okay, so for preseason, I managed to try to find other preseason stats, but I couldn't. So in 2003, they had 3 sacks. As I scroll down, they had a career high of 21 sacks in 06. And they did again with 20 sacks in 2012. So they've had their fair share in sacks during these last couple of preseason games. Well, years. But they kind of been going down in a not so good direction. Because they've had 10 in 2024. They had 3 in 2023. They had 1 in 2022. They had 4 in 2021. So 2025 sacks, they had 6. How about the regular season? Okay, as I'm scrolling down, you guys can pause and take a screenshot on whatever device that you are watching on. Go ahead and do that. Um, okay. So, so again, the Eagles, they have 42 sacks. They were considered to be the best in the NFL. I don't think that was certain. I think the 2022 Eagles were, yeah, the 2022 Eagles were the one I will remember for a long time. 70 sacks in the history of the Eagles, good. And Eagles had 62 sacks in 1989. Yeah. So that'll be it for the Eagles stats for the preseason and the regular season, as well as the Steelers. Steelers QB hits. That's something that's not really talked about. I could not find any info back in the other other years, but 2006 is the year that is the start from and going forward. So as I'm scrolling forward, I might be lagging a little bit, so I apologize. But yeah, as I'm going down, scrolling down, I should say. Yeah, these are the number of QB hits during the time. They've had 105 QB hits last year. Let's see how they will do in the and this is during the regular season as well. But yeah, let's see how they do in the regular season. So, to the Eagles. Again, same thing, but the Eagles have a little bit of a different variety of QB hits. They had 106 QB hits. No, they had 87 QB hits last season. So the Steelers were attacking the quarterbacks more than the Eagles. And then they had 106 in 2023, while the Steelers had 107. So they were kind of even. But yeah. And that's kind of it for what is being talked about right now. But yeah, let's go back to the NFL. Let's see what's happening before I duke off of this device and put this video in. So, Texans finish off the Lions. Colts are blowing out the Cincinnati Bengals. Ravens get the win. And the Rams have taken the league. Let's see how Shedeur Sanders is doing. The Rams are playing that one quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is 3 for 6 for 14 yards. And Dylan Gabriel. Okay. And Tyler Huntley is playing for the Browns. So Shedeur Sanders probably did not have a good run. Okay. Alright. And the Broncos just won against the Saints. Okay. And then you got the Ravens that took down the Commanders. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so Cooper Rush is on the Ravens. He played. And okay, so I would say some of their starters play kind of. Let's see the stats. Okay. Alrighty. Um. Packers and Seahawks are starting now. Then the rest of these games are today. The last game is Cardinals and Raiders, and that's it. And I believe this game is done today. Yeah, the Colts and the Bengals are done today. All right, so the Texans, they've actually won against the Lions. They did not play their starters, it looks like. Alright, so well, Cam Allen, 5 for 5 and a touchdown. Okay. Okay. Oh, and the Browns is trying to finish up strong. And I think they are done. Let's see what happened with the Saints and the Broncos. Saints went zilch 2 in the tie. Broncos went 3-0. So I think they're ready for the season. Bo Nix play. Oh, he has a touchdown. He's 10 for 14. Okay, so the Broncos uses some of their starters. I don't really know too much of those starters, but they use some of their starters. They allotted 3 sacks, and the Saints allotted 4 sacks. Okay. Player stats for the Saints. Let's see the Saints. So the Saints, they're okay. Okay, they did okay. Edwards, Hilaire, Cam, Anchors. Okay. Oh, and the Chiefs played yesterday and lost. The Bears came back. Titans beat the Vikings. Cowboys won for the first time. Giants beat the Patriots. Yeah. Alright, so I think that's enough NFL stuff for today. As your host, the Jedi is out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.